Well, this is probably going to be a short consideration for this week because when I was looking at, what was taking place, there wasn't a lot. I saw a couple of planetary things, and yet the things that are taking place, they're all squares, oppositions, and T-squares. We had that T-square that I mentioned last week between Jupiter with the opposition between Mars and Pluto taking place, Jupiter right in the middle point, and at the same time, it also could be looked at as a grand cross because the nodes of the moon are right there in that oppositional position square to the Pluto and Mars opposition. And this is something that, it has a lingering quality to it in the sense that Pluto doesn't move very fast. And Pluto, Mars is, it's moving the fastest of those three planets. Jupiter, it's going to hang close to that square position to Pluto for a week or two within that influential zone, we can call it. And Mars is going to move along a little bit faster, but nothing ever exists in a vacuum. So let's find the chart. You can kind of see that nice grand, it's not the grand, I don't have the grand cross showing. What you can see is the T-square, but the nodes across here, if I included them in my aspects, which I could do, trust me, it's in the same, 4 points of the chart. So destiny is at work. What could that mean? What aspects of destiny might be tickled? I don't know if I want to get into that right now. So the reason that I say that this is a lingering aspect is because the exact aspect of Mars opposite to Pluto happened on Sunday, yesterday. Today, Mars moves into exact square with Jupiter. And also we had the new moon just a few days ago, and the moon is one of those trigger planets that's always at work triggering, making sure that you don't forget things are going on. So if we just kind of quickly go through the week, you can kind of watch this triangle here. It stays in function, but we get Venus out of bounds, square to Chiron. You'll notice the moon right here catches up and does its joining into this T-square grand cross. It's Wednesday, and then Thursday you can see that T-square is still there. Friday, the T-square is still there. Oh, we've got a new T-square that's joined the circle here on Saturday. And Sunday, you can still see the lingering thinner line of that original T-square between Mars and Pluto and Jupiter. Anyway, let's go back. Minor, or minimally, we should say that the aspects are this week, they're all squares and oppositions. They have, and squares are, they're an aspect that it doesn't generally get good press. And the reason why is because the planets that are involved are in signs that don't necessarily tune into the same vibrational wavelength. They are operating with different rules, so to speak, on what is significant to them. And so we have Leo, what does it mean to take chances out in the world? We have Taurus is the process of understanding what's of value. How does the value structure of our life function? And Aquarius up here, which is kind of a disruptor, revolutionary kind of energy that says, opposite from that Leonian change. It's change on a much bigger level, because the Leo change is like, this is something I want to do myself. Whereas from an Aquarius perspective, the change has to have significance beyond the level of self. Still change, and perhaps just a little bit more disruptive than if a person does the change themselves from a societal level. Anyway, that's that square that's at work with us today. First square, and you can kind of see the forming square here. Venus to Chiron, Venus being, the planet of how do we get along with one another? What's our artistic side saying to us? And it's in Cancer, so this might be a unique time to add some art to your home, because that's part of the Cancerian makeup. And what kind of art is going to intrigue you? Well, let's see. We're forming this square here with Chiron, the wounded healer, over there in Aries. And if you could aim to to tune into an artistic piece that made you feel better, that has a healing quality to it. And so that could be something that Venus Chiron square is bringing for us. Oh, and another thing that I should bring in about this major T square that's going on is these are all the fixed signs of the zodiac. Once a fixed sign has figured out this is what I want to do, they pretty much stick to their guns. There can be some stubbornness in the air. I'm not changing my ways because I've discovered what works for me. Why should I change my ways? Because you think that I should do it differently. Fixed signs, stubbornness. Yeah. So, that just adds to that tension that the square automatically bring into the equation. Sounds like it's raining out. It is raining out. Okay. Such is life. Let's see what else is going on this week. Tuesday, we have that square being enhanced by the moon, because the moon just, this is tomorrow's, does its little sojourn across the Venus thing and moves into the exact square with Chiron during the day. Oh, the enhancements of those squares. Yeah. And then we go to Wednesday, 24th, and we have the moon comes up here. And what does it do? It says, I want to dance into the experience of that T square Grand Cross energy. And people will feel possibly that tension in the air as to, what do I really need to do? And can I stick to my guns if I'm going to accomplish it? And who's going to, give me grief about that? Can you feel that energy there? Yeah, that's right. Well, let's see what's next. And we just keep going essentially. And Mars is not so far. You can kind of see the Mars and the Jupiter. They're just moving along. They're now 2 degrees, Jupiter, Mars. So they're dancing, holding hands in their own perspectives and saying, what am I going to do? Friday comes along. You can kind of see we still have this nice T square Grand Cross energy at work. Saturday, we add something new into it in the fact that this is also, see this new nice big giant T square that's formed today? The moon, first quarter moon, crisis in action. It's the 27th. It's Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to be at Norwalk, so I'll do what I can to see if I can come up with a celestial chatter for next week. If I do it, while I'm there at Norwalk, yeah, I don't know. There's so much energy going on at those conferences that it's likely I will as well be sitting down on the Monday and coming up with the considerations for what is going to be going on next week. Let me just take a quick, brief glance at my cheat sheet. Oh, full moon. Yes. Okay. Anyway, those are the major energies for this week. There's tension in the air, and the moon's involved in some of that tension. So we're going to feel it. I think of, if anything, the major, whether it's major or not, the significance of the debt ceiling crisis default going on with the American United States debt. Yeah, there's some tension in the air that this is very much going to be in play with. Far be it from me to make that determination as to what is the appropriate thing to do. I'm just going to leave it at that. Short one this week. Stay tuned, everybody. Norwalk is next week. I'm going to go do the Astro Dance with my peeps that I haven't done in 3 years. I'm really looking forward to that. If anybody wants a chart reading, you can always email me at theastroshapeshifter.com or the Lively Astrologer. Either one will get to my website, and I enjoy doing charts. And I find most people enjoy what it is that I share with them to shake, rattle, and roll their worlds into perhaps discovering a new soul direction in what they came to do this earth walk about. Ciao for now. Yep, this picture behind me right now, oh, it's getting really loud. Rain's really coming down. That's a picture of the Painted Desert down in Arizona that I took on my recent journey. Adios.